Most people think productivity is about adding more apps, more systems, more effort. But something that I don't think gets mentioned enough is how real productivity often starts with subtraction. Because it's not always about what you do, it's sometimes about what you stop doing. And so in this video, I'm going to share 3 of the biggest things that I think steal your time every day. And the moment you cut these things out is the moment that your calendar may just feel twice as free. Okay, so number 1 is television. And I'm going to be honest with you, for most people throughout the world, the biggest productivity hack there may just be is to cut out television, because television, it really can be such a time sink and just can be something that people are wasting far too much time on. And I'm not trying here to completely demonize television, because of course television can be entertaining and it can be relaxing to watch television, and there's nothing I love more sometimes than on like a Saturday evening to just mong out and get a takeaway and binge watch a whole series on Netflix. And if you're also someone that is just happy in their life and isn't trying to save lots of time and be more productive, then don't listen to this one and don't worry about it. But I presume here that you are actually someone that is trying to be more productive and is trying to find more time in their day. And so if you are one of those people, I do think that television can just be something that can save you so much time, and it can just be something that you may be wasting far too much time on. Because a quick Google search tells me that in the UK where I am, the average person spends 4.5 hours every day watching television. And I don't know how accurate that is, and I can't actually believe that is accurate, and I hope it's not accurate. But if you are someone that is spending anywhere near close to that amount of time, that is just a crazy amount of time. And then if you were to just stop that and cut that out completely, you would be saving so much time. I mean, that would be what, like over 28 hours every week. I mean, even if you didn't cut it out completely, if you just cut it back slightly, again, you would just be saving yourself so much time to then actually focus and prioritize some of the other things that I'm sure you want to do. And so I think my main point here is to just try to be a little bit mindful in terms of how much television you're watching. And if in reality it probably is a little bit excessive, just think about cutting it down. Or maybe just try to set some like parameters around your television watching. And that's kind of what I do. And this isn't like a strict rule for me, but my parameter is pretty much that I will only watch television with my wife. I never really watch television on my own. And I will pretty much only watch television on the weekend as well. Like in the weekdays, very rarely am I ever watching television. And so ultimately, just try and be a little bit honest with yourself, but just think like, how much television are you watching? And if it is excessive, think about either cutting it back or maybe even better, cut it out completely. And so the second time sink is to not utilize every minute throughout the day. And what I mean here is that so often I think throughout our days, we have these little pockets of time that we don't utilize. Like maybe it's you've got 7 minutes before your next business meeting, or maybe it's you've got 13 minutes before you need to leave the house to go pick up the kids, or something like that. But just sprinkled throughout the day, we so often have these little pockets of time. And I think the default setting for so many people, including it used to be myself, is just to think, well, that's not enough time to do anything, and it's probably just a time where, like for me, I just get out the phone and start scrolling social media, or basically just not do anything with that time. But the reality is that those pockets of time, they really do add up throughout the day. And if you are not using those periods of time, you're actually losing a lot of time throughout the day. And in reality, we really can use those little pockets for doing much better things. And so for me, I just try to use these like little pockets of time to do either like admin-y tasks, or maybe it's just like an annoying little task that I've been putting off. So maybe it's like an email that I could quickly respond to that I've been putting off, or maybe I realize I haven't spoken to someone for a while and I've got just enough time to call them, or maybe there's some like annoying house chore to do. Like whatever the thing is though, it's just trying to figure out what you can actually do in these periods of time and then using that time to do those things. And the beauty of doing this is that it will probably allow you to get a lot more done than you otherwise might have, because you will actually get all of these things like ticked off and off your to-do list. And it will also then free up your time much later in the day, and it will free up your time to then actually focus in on probably more of like the substantive type work that you want to do and the priorities that you have. And you'll probably just actually be able to get stuck into the work much easier and focus in knowing that you've already got done some of these more annoying admin type tasks. And then the third time sink is to let your mood dictate your actions. What I mean here is that, of course, in an ideal world, we'd just be bouncing off the walls and have loads of energy all the time and be feeling great and completely happy. And that would be lovely if that was reality. But I think for 99, maybe even 100% of people, that isn't the reality. And we are going to be a bit up and down with our emotions, and motivation is going to come and go. But the real key aspect that I would try to really relay to you is to not actually rely on motivation and realize that you can just do whatever you want to do, kind of no matter how you're feeling. You can feel completely tired and exhausted and still go to the gym. Or you can feel completely unmotivated to do something that you said you wanted to do, but still do that thing anyway. And so try not to let your mood dictate your actions. And I say this within the context of time, because when we are letting our mood dictate our actions, I think so often is when it will lead to procrastination, and we will waste so much time because of that. Because I think when we are kind of thinking to ourselves oh, my energy's low, or I really don't feel like doing whatever the thing is, that is when we start almost trying to talk ourselves out of it, or we do just start procrastinating in terms of whether we are or aren't going to do the thing. And I think we can just lose so much time in the process of those thoughts. And also, action really is the key with everything, and we need to take action to ultimately be able to do things. And the truth is, actually, once you start doing something, you probably will get into a bit more of a flow with it, and you'll start finding it easier to do, and you'll start getting some momentum, and maybe even your energy levels, and maybe even your motivation will start lifting. But ultimately, you will never get to that point if you don't start taking action and don't start taking those steps towards the things that you said you were going to do. I.e., if you just let your mood dictate your actions, then too often that mood is going to stop you from doing those things and taking action. So don't fall into that trap, and try not to let your mood dictate those actions, and just do the things that you said you're going to do. So there you go, 3 time sinks. Cut them out, and I promise you, you will save so much more time and have a lot more time to do more things that you want to do. I hope you found some of that interesting. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.